Hello, beautiful ladies. I truly believe that what helps women is for them to have all the options available in life. So often, when one fights for one kind of option to be available for a woman, at the same time, they are discouraging women from taking the other option. On my channel, I've discussed a number of ways in which I have been led astray from the things I've wanted for that very reason. And it's World Hijab Day coming up soon, which is the day in which all women are invited to try out wearing hijab. This is hijab because it covers, but more specifically, when the face is covered, it's also called niqab. And it's not just on World Hijab Day that all women are welcome to wear the hijab. It's every day. Modesty is an option available to all women. It's wonderful. Immodesty is an option available to a lot of women too, particularly in my area of the world. I live in Washington State, and there's actually no law here requiring people to wear clothes. And I've done that. I've known people who've done that. And now I have, used my full freedom in the other way to cover my hair. There are a few things that some Muslim women ask of people who choose to wear hijab who are not Muslim. They ask that if you're wearing hijab, to be acting in a halal way, which is to otherwise dress modestly and to also not do haram things such as consuming pork. And my husband, who's from a Muslim country, thinks this is silly and doesn't think that anyone should listen to that. So it's another perspective of someone actually from the culture, if you want to hear another one. And certainly, within rave scene, festival scene, you will see people in revealing outfits that have like a pretty pashmina, draped around their head, neck, and shoulders in a hijab style. My husband even wears pashminas like that, although another way to be appearing halal is to not be wearing hijab if you're someone who is a man or doesn't consider themselves a man, but would be a man according to Islam, because Islam requires men to wear men's clothes and women to wear women's clothes. So I just wanted to let you know about these things. Not that I'm interested in inhibiting your freedoms. I do know a number of people in the online pagan community who are not women or would not be women according to Islam, and they do wear hijab. I don't call it hijab most of the time. Most of the time I call it a hair wrap. And there's other things you can call it. I find that in the online hair covering community that is not Muslim, they will call a turban a particular style of wrapping your hair, such that only your hair is covered instead of your neck. And amongst Muslim community online, I've found that turban is what they call all of the hair wraps that just cover the hair and not the neck. I'm a witch, and if one is supposed to be halal while wearing hijab, I guess I'm not. Islam forbids witchcraft, so perhaps it wouldn't look good for someone to perhaps be doing some witchcraft ritual in public in hijab, but also I can pretty easily imagine, someone dressing up for a ritual in a way that doesn't make them look like a Muslim, even though they're covering their hair and their face. It's helped me a lot, actually, as an autistic person. I find covering my hair actually gives me more energy with talking to people. And it's really too bad that I would have never considered covering my hair if I wasn't in a particular situation I was in a few years ago where things are pretty bad, and I thought, okay, maybe I should try out covering my hair just as another added layer of protection. I started covering my hair as a means of spiritual protection, and then found that it immensely helped my autism. And I've actually convinced a few people in my social circle about it, which is not anything I would expect. I could say it wasn't on my bingo card for that year. I want you to know that it's not just a Muslim thing to cover your hair. If you look up online, they'll say you'll find people that don't say anything about how you have to act halal enough if you're going to wear hijab. Others will say, the pagans before us covered their hair too. It's not something owned by Islam. And so if that's the case, if you're a pagan, if you're a witch, if you're reclaiming traditions that have been lost with Christianity and with Islam, scrubbing the histories and traditions of people that came before those religions, know that this is an option available for you. It's so funny that I would have never tried it. I was actually feeling called to cover my hair for a number of years, and at first it really bothered me. I was an ex-Christian, and I thought, is this the Christian God, trying to call me back to him? I tried out the Quaker Church for just a little bit, which is a church in which they believe that the individual person is told by God exactly what to do, which differs from other sects of Christianity where you're supposed to follow the rules exactly as, the whole religion understands the interpretation of the rules. I tried that. I didn't keep up with it. And it ended up being a tool I knew about that I could access at a later time when I decided to try it out to see if it would help me. And it ended up helping me in this other way. Another thing that you should know is that some of the Muslim creators you will see online don't actually cover their face because they always cover their face in public. Some of them just wear regular hijab in public, and online, because there's plenty of reasons to cover their face online, they will cover their face. I can name 2 off the top of my head right away that do that. So I also want you to know that if you want to wear niqab just to cover your face, that is an option available to you. And in fact, that is an option that is utilized by Muslim women. And I want you to know that not every Muslim woman who is covering her face online is doing it because she wears niqab full time. I hope you enjoyed this explanation. Try it out if you want. I was so scared to wear hijab out in public for the first time. My family is very Islamophobic, so it felt funny. And I certainly am still in a position where when I cover my hair around my family, I don't do it in a way that looks very much like hijab, because I don't want them questioning. I just don't personally want to deal with that. And for me and my own family, it's been awkward enough marrying someone who's not a Muslim himself but has Muslim family, because my family just really doesn't like that. But they could know too that hijab is not necessarily a Muslim thing. I hope that you learned something from this. If you are not part of the feminine energy world, that's what I talk about on this channel. I talk about feminine energy, and as it relates to all sorts of interesting things like PTSD and autism and ADHD. And if I don't see you again, that's okay. I'm glad to get the word out there about your options for wearing hijab. Otherwise, if you'd like to hear about feminine energy, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.